it is Calxiyn here, and today, before we get started, let me remind you guys that you should become a Patreon so you can get early access on some of our videos, and you should join our Discord server and subscribe and all that fun stuff. So, this is a RWBY theory by Bloomfire Princess on Tumblr, and it's a very short theory, so we're not going to go too much into it, but I'm just going to call this, like, the Wizard of Oz Generations theory real quick. So here's what Bloomfire Princess is thinking of. What, Hunter? What do you want to say so bad right now?
I'm just laughing subtly to myself. No need to get angry. But,
okay, I'm just wondering why.
It's just that Wizard of Oz Generation sounds like an anime for the Wizard of Oz.
I hate you. Anyways.
What would the Wizard of Oz anime opening sound like?
I don't know, like...
Yellow, da-da, brick road, da-da.
I hate...
Yellow, da.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, Hunter.
And like it would be like...
Please!
Like we would see like some like really serious ass looking Oompa Loompas, or no, what are they called? Munchkins?
Exactly.
And
it's okay.
They're short. Anyways,
it's
yes,
okay.
Continue.
Anyways, so Crow is the Scarecrow, always searching for info or the brains. Ironwood is the Tin Man, heartless and hopeless. Lionheart is the Cowardly Lion, no courage, seriously gutless. And so that is basically them talking about Crow, Ironwood, Lionheart. We all kind of knew their inspirations. People still argue with me that Crow isn't the Scarecrow. And I think that's the stupidest one, because Ironwood, understand. Tin Man isn't that clear. I didn't say this. Tyrion was looking for the Spring Maiden, and Crow was also looking for the Spring Maiden, but Crow found it. You know what I mean? Crow completed his goal. He completed his info search, while Tyrion didn't. So I feel like that also makes them foiled right here, right? You have Hazel, who's the foil of the Tin Man. Though working with evil, he seems to have a heart. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Okay. The Watts is the foil of the Cowardly Lion. He's aloof and, like, brazen, let's say. And remember that, like, Hazel isn't working with Ironwood right now. But... No, don't say that! What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, anyways, so if you guys didn't see, Hunter was trying to... Hunter was trying to...
That was not my fault.
Type something. Anyway.
Which map?
Anyways, so, you know, we kind of see that, in Watts, because, like, Tyrion is kind of against Crow, right? Watts is against Hazel, Watts is against, Lionheart, but we haven't seen Hazel really against Ironwood, so they haven't been set up in that way, but you could say that maybe in the future, you know, it'll be more apparent. Anyway, and so that's with the old generation, or with these two generations. So Hunter, like, what do you think about that, like, kind of to start off with?
I mean, I buy it, I suppose, really. I mean, it was always obvious to me that the second someone said, oh yeah, they're based off of the Wizard of Oz, I was like, uh-huh,
but
then
what do you think
Tin
about
Man and
the evil team being their foils, right?
Evil team being their foils? I suppose we haven't got a good enough idea.
I was going to say something else.
Yes.
So, Vacuo, we don't know the ruler yet, but Vacuo's leader could be a parallel to Cinder.
Oh.
If we ever kind of get that
so
far.
Like a hot dude?
No, not like that. I'm just saying that, like, because that's kind of the last piece of Ozpin's team. The last piece of Ozpin's headmasters, right? Like, that should be another Wizard of Oz character, right? And so yes. Cinder would be the foil of that Wizard of Oz character.
What? Wizard of... Toto? Like, we don't...
No, like, maybe the Wicked Witch of the East or Dorothy. We don't know yet. And there's more than just, like, our standard, like, Wizard of Oz movie. There's also a lot of book characters. Anyway, so you kind of see how Tyrion and them are foils to Crow and Ironwood and, yeah. Also, the other thing I would like to mention in terms of Hazel is Hazel values trust, while Ironwood literally hides everything from Ozpin. Yeah. Like, if you think about it, like, he hid Penny, he hid, you know, the airships coming, he basically, like, hid all of this info from him, well, we did another video about Hazel that's coming out soon, depending on when you're watching this. Hazel values trust, right? Ironwood does not give a shit whatsoever. So now we have some other, the new generation, so to speak, right? And so let's just include Cinder in here, like Cinder, and then maybe the Vacuo character, and then that way I can add RWBY as one of these as well. So Jean is the Scarecrow. He didn't know much. He had to acquire the skills, so to speak, like the brains. And Jean is very smart, so that kind of, it works. Like, he's a good tactician. You know what I mean? And remember, he did do Cardin's essay and his own essay and all of his other schoolwork and still, like, didn't flunk out, you know what I mean? So, like, he's going with that. Ren was the Cowardly Lion. He was so scared that, you know, as a child, it kind of led him to an action. We kind of see that with Nora. He didn't want to stand up against the bullies, and his father was very disappointed.
And Nora's Toto.
No, and Nora's the Tin Man. The way this was in the way that her emotion never really fluctuated. She always maintains a positive demeanor, like covering what's in her heart. You know what I mean? Like, Nora seems to have, like, I don't want to say an emotions problem. Don't get a station here. You don't need one. Just don't do it. Like, I don't want to say she has a problem with emotions, but she's definitely, like, I guess her, like, how she displays emotions is very different than other members of the team. And then, like, remember that a lot of people think RWBY is Dorothy. So with this generation's theory, RWBY would be Dorothy, Cinder would be Dorothy, the Vacuo person would also be Dorothy, like, they're all Dorothy. You know what I mean? And so I could see how RWBY is Dorothy, then Cinder being Dorothy on the villain side, and then Ozpin's original Dorothy, which could have been Summer Rose, or it could just be the Vacuo headmaster. The thing is, each of Juniper have overcome their flaws. Jean has learned to focus and maintain effort in his training, Ren has learned to center himself and become brave, and Nora has let her mask skip, showing her true feelings, especially when she punches Ren, by the way. I just wanted to insert that there into this person's paragraph. This shows that something that the old guard didn't accomplish, which led to their downfall. I believe that Summer Rose was Dorothy, but their failure led to her death. RWBY is the new Dorothy, and as she overcomes her flaws, her team is right behind her for help, support, and guide her as they each meet their goals and discover themselves along the Yellow Brick Road. And now they've made it to Mistral or the Emerald City. The next step, though, ... So I feel like this really ties up things well with, like, speculation.
Who do you think are the trees that threw the apples?
I hate you so much sometimes. I feel like Vacuo could be the Dorothy replacement, or you could be right, it could just be Summer Rose.
I really do like that theory, actually. I like the...
Because there's the foils, and then there's the old people, and then there's, like, it's nice. I enjoy foils, like Hamlet and Leartes, like 2017, you know what I mean? I really enjoyed it.
You paid attention in English class.
I know, I really enjoyed it. And so, like, what do you think, Hunter? You said that you like it, but, like, what else kind of is there that you, I guess, like about it? Like, something that I haven't personally mentioned already?
I suppose it just makes...
It just makes sense! Like, well, we've been doing videos for the past 2 days, and this is the only one that makes sense to me, Cal, like...
No, it would be more like we've done videos straight for the past 2 days, and I'm now delirious.
Okay. But, and so this is the only thing that makes sense to you, in, like, a delirious
I feel only
world.
The comfort of anime Wizard of Oz could ever comfort me in my trialing.
Just saying, yeah.
In these hard times.
Yeah.
I think one difficulty with it is that we already, like, now you're just having, like, you're tripling up on...
Like, character inspirations?
Especially on Juniper.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. But the idea that, you know, Team Stark and then the villains, that's interesting. I think how...
I don't mind them, like, making Frankenstein monsters of fairy tale characters, because, like, a lot of people have said, like, oh, I don't want, like, Emerald or RWBY, like, or Blake just to be based on, like, one inspiration. That's boring. So,
and then
like, just have more, you know?
As Yang walked into Salem's castle, she said, I don't know about this porridge. It's too warm, too cold. But this other porridge is too hot. But this porridge
I hate you so much.
Just right.
Anyway, but you understand what I'm saying, right? Like, I feel a good way to diversify what characters are inspired by is give them more than one inspiration. Like, Roman was Clockwork Orange guy, was Pinocchio guy, was your standard, like, asshole guy. Like, you know, he had a lot of shit going for him, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just, okay, is that what you're gonna do? No! No, not the grenade launcher!
I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want!
Oh my god, anyways, so yeah, I think...
This is Wizard of Oz, the next generation! A-da-da, a-da-da.
Red!
Da-da,
Road!
da-da.
Yellow!
It's yellow!
I'm sorry.
They painted the yellow brick road
Red
with
with
blood!
blood!
This is an angsty remake! Da-da, da-da.
Okay.
That's the Naruto opening, if you didn't know what that was.
That was pretty good, Hunter. I'll admit that. I'll give you credit for that. That's a good way to end the video. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed. Remember that you guys should join our Discord server or become a patron over on Patreon and stuff like that. But anyways, I will see you later. That's pretty much it. Sorry. I'll see you later and yeah. Thanks for watching. Sorry, I was so like what else? What am I supposed to say?
Fuck,
What's my outro?
what do we end these?
Like, we make videos.
I've had it.
You know what I mean?
You had a
like,
moment of clarity there.
Yeah, like I was just like, what are we doing? But anyway, guys, we are doing this for you, so I hope that you enjoyed, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.